Very good afternoon. I'm Ramesh Babu, Training Officer, National Skill Training Institute for Women, Trichy, Tamil Nadu. So first, I am paying my sincere thanks to our DGT, Director General of Training, and NIMI, National Instructional Media Institute, for giving this nice opportunity to give on a lecture about pattern grading. So today I am going to take the online class on the topic of pattern grading. And I think this will definitely help, particularly for dressmaking and sewing technology trainees who are also, they are frequently doing pattern grading and a lot of pattern making practicals. Sometimes maybe they may do pattern grading also, and a little bit the fashion technology trainees also. They are also they should know about pattern grading. Okay. So before entering to the topic, somebody may say that pattern grading is very tough. It's very complicated one like that. But I can say that if you are understanding the concept of the grading, it's very, very easy. In today's class, my aim is to make you understand the clear concept of pattern grading, and by using some methods, all important methods also I'm going to tell. And moreover, this is a practical oriented classes, but here my aim is to understand the main concept behind that practical, what you are doing in our pattern grading. Okay. And if you are able to understand at least 60% of today's class, then I can say my aim definitely will be achieved, like that I can say. Okay, we go to the topic now, pattern grading. So before that, we should know what do you mean by pattern. Pattern, we can define the pattern that a pattern can be defined as a model or replica of various components of a garment. So one garment having several components. Say if a shirt is a garment, it's having two fronts, one back, two yokes, two collar band, two collar face, two collars, two collar facing, two collar bands, two collar width facing, two cups facing, like that. We can, these are the different components. So the components, these components have been made as a model or replica, then for mask cutting, then we are called it is a pattern. So normally pattern can be defined as a model replica of various components of a garment. For shirt means if you're having the important components, we have to prepare patterns for all the components. Normally the patterns are made by using paper, and we can make patterns in by using cardboard, plastic board, anything we can do. But normally they are using paper for preparing patterns, hence they are called as paper patterns. Okay. And normally what are the advantages of paper? While discussing advantages of paper patterns, you know very well the paper patterns are used for mask cutting, and because in particularly in that garment factories, ready-made garment units, for bulk cutting they have to use paper pattern. And if you preserve the paper pattern, we can use it again and again. And the paper patterns are used to reduce the fabric consumption. And with the help of paper patterns, we can create different new styles in flat pattern designing methods. And the last one important point is the paper patterns are used for pattern grading. So if you are preparing pattern only, we can do pattern grading. So pattern grading, paper patterns is a must one. So what do you mean by pattern grading? And before that, what is the main use of pattern grading? Why we have to do pattern grading? Actually, in ready-made garment factories, in mass production, the garments are manufactured in various sizes. The buyer may give some measurement chart, is having different types of sizes. And if you're following size chart also, it will different sizes. So we have to prepare the garments on the basis of buyer's requirements, and the garments may be in different sizes. Normally, the sizes are segregated as S small, M medium, L large. some buyers may give XL, extra large, double XL, triple XL, extra large, and extra small, double extra, some different sizes. Somebody may denote sizes using numbers also. Okay. So anyhow, we are getting order in different sizes. So for example, this is an example for a small example for one size chart. Here the measurements are given: length, chest, typing mistake, chest, waist, shoulder, neck, like that. Small, medium, large, extra large measurements have been given. Okay. So what is the duty of a pattern maker? A pattern maker should prepare all the patterns for all these sizes. Okay. So for that only they are following one method. That method is called as, because he can't prepare all the sizes individually. He can prepare one base size. With the help of that, he can prepare other sizes also. That process is known as pattern grading. So pattern grading can be defined as a process of increasing or decreasing. Otherwise, you can say enlarging or reducing. I'm sorry, here also on typing mistake, I'm very sorry. Reducing is not returning. Reducing from one size to another size proportionately. So if you're preparing pattern for one size, the other sizes can be, if I'm preparing pattern for S size, with the help of S size, I can prepare M, L, XL, like that. Otherwise, if I prepare XL size, means I can prepare patterns for L, M, S, like that. So that process, we are increasing or decreasing the sizes. Otherwise, we can enlarging or reducing one from one size to another size. This process is known as pattern grading. And here the definition, if you are just writing pattern grading, can be defined as the process of, somebody may write definition like that only. A pattern grading may be defined as a process of increasing or decreasing, enlarging or reducing from one size to another size, means they will complete. Though it's not a complete definition. This word is very, very important. Proportionately is very, very important. Because if you're preparing patterns in a proportionate method only, I am preparing S size. After grading, I am preparing L size pattern. And L size pattern should have proportionate with the S pattern. Then only the pattern grading will be achieved. So otherwise, it may be difficult. Once the proportionate is very, very important. So in definition, proportionately, pattern grading can be defined as a process of increasing or decreasing, enlarging. Otherwise, you can write enlarging or reducing from one size to another size proportionately. Okay, this is the definition. Then what is the main advantage of pattern grading? The pattern grading is main advantage of pattern grading is time saving only. How? See, for example, in a garment industry, one person is consuming 4 hours HRs, I'm sorry, 4 hours for each for preparing pattern for 4 number of sizes. So we are getting order in 4 sizes: small, medium, large, extra large. So I'm preparing pattern for one size. Say it will take 4 hours. For example, I'm saying, so the hours for making preparing the pattern may differ, size to size and style to style, it may different. For example, I'm saying, so if I'm preparing S size pattern for 4 hours, then I have to prepare M size, L size, XL size. So each will consume 4 hours. Totally, I have to spend 16 hours for the whole process. Okay. And if I'm using the pattern grading method, I have to spend 4 hours for only one size, S size. And with the help of pattern grading, I can complete the remaining sizes. I can prepare the remaining patterns for remaining sizes for preparing patterns. I can spend a little bit lower amount only. Little bit less time only comparing the previous one. So in this method, I can complete the entire process within 8 hours. So if I'm individually preparing each and every pattern, means I'm spending 16 hours. If I'm using pattern grading method, I can complete the process 8 hours. So I can save 8 hours. For in a mass production, in a garment factory, the time saving is a very, very prime and important factor. And the time saving is one. If I'm saving the time, means I can utilize the extra time for doing some other work. So the first we can prepare the pattern for one size within 4 hours. Then with the help of grading, we can complete the remaining pattern within 4 hours. See, so See, after preparing a pattern, the outline of the pattern had been enlarged with or reduced with the help of increments. So the figure has shown, first we have to prepare one S-size pattern. Then see, normally the difference between the import, if chest measurement, waist measurement will vary a little bit only. For example, if I am preparing one S-size pattern means, I have to draw basic construction lines, and after that I have to, with the help of measurement, I have to apply the measurements. Then I have to draw the neck curve, armhole curve properly with the help of French curves, and perfectly I have to finish the pattern. And the same basic the construction lines, the same line only can be used for drafting L size and M size and XL patterns also. So we need not draw again and again. So if I draw the S size pattern, here only the S and M size will differ this much only. So I can only apply the difference, how much the M size neck vary with the S size, how much the shoulder will vary with the S to M. In that way, I can just apply the increment, that is called as increment. We are going to discuss in the next. So that is called increment, means the measurement variation from one size to another size. We'll deeply discuss in the next slide. So after applying increment, and easily, if I just preparing one size for S size pattern, then I can trace with the help of that one. I can simply increase whatever I can increase the measurement, that I can just increase. Then I can easily prepare the S size, L pattern, M size pattern and L size pattern. I need not draw the basic construction line again and again. So in this method, I can save nearly 50% of our time. Okay. In another point, suppose I am preparing one pattern for homemade garments. I purchased one very good quality fabric, say meter 100 rupees per meter, like that. Sorry, 1000 rupees per meter, like that. So I purchased it. Further, I am preparing pattern. I am doing. So, and after, normally what I will do, I am preparing pattern. Normally in homemade garments, what we are doing is simply folding the fabric and cutting. We are not using patterns much. But if I am preparing, I am just purchased a very costly fabric. For that, I am just fearing, okay, if I just wrongly cut, what will happen? For that, I am just preparing the pattern. I am just, after with the help of pattern, I am just cutting. So after preparing pattern, I won't cut immediately. I will check again and again, because if pattern is having any problem, definitely my costly fabric will be affected. If pattern is having any problem, with the help of faulty pattern, I just cut my fabric, means definitely my entire process will go in vain. So for that, I have to check again and again. For I am just spending only 2000 rupees, 3000 rupees. For that only I am checking the pattern again and again. Means imagine a pattern master who is working in a garment factory, and he is preparing pattern for a style, and after preparing pattern, he will check at least 5 times, 6 times again and again. Then he will give it to assistant pattern master, and he will check many times. So for completing one size only, it will take a lot of time. And individually they are spending the same process for each and every style, means the time consumption will be more. But the pattern, if we are doing pattern grading, means definitely our time, we can reduce our time. Okay. And somebody may say that some people may call as sizing of pattern, like that they can say. Pattern grading, somebody may can say that is a process of sizing of pattern, like that they can tell. Okay. So, and before going to pattern grading, we have to understand two important terms. Number one is size interval. Another one is increment. What do you mean by size interval? Size interval can be defined as an amount by which a measurement varies from one size to another size. See here example, chest measurement, here 80 centimeter, yes, M84, L88. So size interval S to M, 80 to 84, 84 minus 84 centimeter. So L to M to L, 4 centimeter. So the difference between the measurement, particular measurement, one size to another size, it can be defined as a size interval. Okay, this is very, very important. And normally we can say that all measurements are having the equal size interval. Sometimes it may vary. Sometimes the STM may 4 centimeter and the MTL may 5 centimeter also. It depends upon the buyer and size chart. So first you have to understand what do you mean by size interval. Size interval is the amount by which a measurement varies from one size to another size. Okay. Then increment. Increment, it can be defined as the amount by which a variable quantity varies one size to another size. See, both the definition are same for size interval increment. It can be defined as the amount by which a measurement varies one size to another size. Measurement varies one size to another size, but in increment, the amount by which a variable quantity varies one size to another size. Okay. And what do you mean by variable quantity? Variable quantity in the sense means it can be defined as a ratio of measurement used during pattern drafting. For example, see S 30 centimeter, M 36, L 42. These are the neck measurement in a measurement chart. So normally here the size interval we can say that 30 to 36, 6 centimeter. Size interval to STM 6 centimeter and MTL 6 centimeter. This is size interval. Then here the variable quantity, with the help of measurement we are applying some ratio. Here we are necker, we are drafting. For example, I can't use the entire neck measurement here while drafting. I'm using 1/6 of the neck only, in front or back, anything. 1/6 of the neck only. Okay. See here the neck measurement is 1/6 of the neck. So the 1/6 neck here, the 1/6 is the variable quantity, because this will vary according to the drafting method, style, and design features. In one style we can apply 1/6 neck. In another style we can apply 1/5 neck. For example, I'm saying. So 1/6, 1/5, we're applying, for chest, you are applying off chest, 1/2, shoulder, off shoulder, 1/6, 1/8, 1/16. We are applying some on measurements, that ratio is known as variable quantity. So, see, the above example, variable quantity for S size 1/6 neck equal to how much? S size 30/6, 5 centimeter. And variable quantity for M size 1/6 neck 6 centimeter. The difference between the variable quantity of M size and S size. So for drawing S size neck, we are applying 1/6 neck 5 centimeter. For M size, we are applying 6 centimeter. So the difference will be the variable quantity is known as increment. So the increment will be 6 minus 5 equal to 1 centimeter. So we have to mention 1 centimeter or 10 mm. 10 mm. See, again we'll see the increment. It can be defined as amount by which a variable quantity varies one size to another size. Variable quantity means we are taking the measurement. In measurement, in what ratio are going to apply from one size to another size. The difference between the variable quantity is known as increment. So you have to understand these two terms first. These two terms are the basic thing of pattern grading. You have to understand what do you mean by increment. You have to understand what do you mean by size interval. Okay. See here. Otherwise, we can easily calculate directly. So what I did in the previous example, first I have to calculate the neck measurement, variable quantity for S size and variable quantity of M size 5 and 6. Then I make the difference. But one simple formula is there. The increment can be calculated directly by using the formula increment equal to size interval into variable quantity. See the previous example, what I did, first I measured for M size, then I just calculate for M size and make the difference. Here I directly applying. See the S to M size neck difference is 6 centimeter and variable quantity here 1/6. 6 into 1/6 equal to 1. But we have to normally mention is 1 centimeter and other normally we mention 10 millimeter. Normally pattern grading instead of centimeter, millimeter only used, because maximum particularly for neck and the other we can't, is very difficult to use a centimeter. For that we have to use millimeter only. Okay. So the increment should be calculated for each and every point. That only we are going to discuss. The increment applying method, the increment should be calculated and applied both in X and Y direction, and the positive and negative sign, plus or minus sign, should have given for simply indicating the direction. See, normally first we have to calculate the increment, and we are applying the increment. How we are calculating, we can't understand means, please wait, I am busy. We are going to definitely, I am going to explain with one example also. And normally while apply, so first you have to understand the term size interval and increment. Then how we are implementing, how we are applying increment means in this method. See this figure here. This is x plus y direction, minus x plus y direction, minus x minus y direction, plus x plus minus y direction. The increment may come in plus or minus also, that we'll discuss. In by this direction you have to know. This direction is, see, this direction is plus y, downwards is minus y. This is plus x, this is minus x. That you have to understand. So upwards, vertically upwards plus y, vertically downwards minus y, and the right side is x, left side is minus x. You have to understand. So to avoid fractional measurement like 0.5 centimeter, 0.8 centimeter is very difficult to do. For that only, normally the increments are normally referred by using millimeters. So 0.5 centimeter is it's normally mentioned as 5 mm, and 0.8 centimeter 8 mm, and 1.25 centimeter is 12.5 mm. So normally pattern grading we are using millimeter only. Okay, and we are just discussing the system. Normally while discussing the grading method, normally 3 types of pattern grading methods are using. Number one is cut and spread method. Second one is draft grade method. Otherwise we can say that radial draft method. And number third is track shift method. These are all 3 are manual method. Apart from that, we can use software also in our computer. With the help of PDS software, we can prepare pattern and grade the pattern. That is called as computerized grading method. Okay. So see, now we discussed about what you mean by size chart and size interval increment. Then normally the increments of size interval is mainly applicable in almost all the 3 methods. See, number one is cut and spread method. In this method, it's an easier method, and the other, this is a basic method. Previously they were using that method, then after that only they just derived draft grade method and track shift method. And here what we have to do, you know, the slash and spread method. Nicely, I know. I hope you know very well about slash and spread method. For converting puff sleeve to plain sleeve or plain sleeve to puff sleeve, we are using slash and spread method or slash and lap method that we are using. The same method we are going to do for that pattern grading also. Here we need only the small easy, we can easily do this method, and we need pencil, tape, ruler and scissor only. See here, see this diagram. Here what we are doing the pattern means, first one size pattern they have to take and they will cut the pattern in the important thing. See here, for neck measurement they are cutting the pattern, then shoulder measurement they are cutting the pattern, then for chest measurement they are cutting the pattern here, then for armhole measurement they are going to cut, and for this length measurement they are going to cut. The pattern can cut pieces, and in another paper they have to spread, slash and spread with the help of sellotape they have to fix, then they have to redraw. For example, if I prepared a S size pattern, I have to convert it to M size pattern. So before that I should know the increment. So one point, important point I forgot to tell you. For pattern grading, it's a very easy process only. We have to understand the concept, then it will become very easy. And the main qualification of pattern grading is you have to know very well about pattern making techniques. If you know the pattern making properly only, you can able to understand grading. If you are not having that pattern making knowledge, it's very difficult. For preparing pattern, if you're not having pattern drafting knowledge, with the help of draping method, you can easily. But in pattern grading, it's not like that. You should have definitely the pattern making knowledge. So I'm just cutting here, no. So here I'm just cutting. We should know where we have to cut and how much increment we have to apply. We should know. Then only you can do this method. So for all the method of pattern grading, pattern making, Knowledge is a must one. So in cut and spread method, here we are spreading with the help of cellotape wave and finally we draw the M size pattern, M size pattern. Okay. So for preparing S to M, I have to cut and spread. Suppose if I'm having M pattern means I have to prepare S pattern means I have to cut and lap. You know very well the slash and spread method and slash and lap method. If I'm having puff sleeve, I can easily convert the puff sleeve to plain sleeve by using slash and lap method. The same method can be used for this also. By this, the people are doing, this is known as cut and spread method. The advantage of this method is the simplest method. It can be easily understood. And disadvantage is it consumes more time. It's suitable for homemade garments. Okay, this one method. And previously they were following this method only, but it consumes more time. They defined another method that is known as draft grade method. It's also called as radial draft method or nested grading also. Here, the pattern is in fixed position. The grading is done on the peripheries of the pattern like a circular or radial method. The increments are applied on each grading points. The pattern outlines traced. The lines and curves of the other graded system are drafted and tracing using tracing wheel if necessary. After finishing, the base size pattern is removed and the untopped lines and curves are drafted correctly and finished. This is also called nested grading. See this figure? See here, first I have to prepare the S size pattern. Then I have to fix. Then I have to calculate how much I have to increase for this neck, M size neck. How much I have for M size neck, like that. So I have to increase the neckline. I have to increase the shoulder. I have to increase the armhole depth. I have to increase here for chest measurement. I have to increase here for waist measurement. I have to increase here for length measurement. So here I have to apply increment for here length, here chest, here waist, here side depth, here again here chest, and here shoulder, here neck depth, neck width. They are applying. After applying, I'm circularly or radially I'm drafting. Then after drafting one after other, I can just keep it and I can trace with the help of the tracing paper. I can individually segregate S size pattern, M size pattern, and L size pattern like that. So this method is called as radial draft method. Okay. So here further also we should know about increment. So I am preparing a size pattern, then I have to increase. This is M pattern will be in blue line. So I have to increase the neck depth and neck width. So S size pattern, I am just drafting some measurement with the help of measurement chart. I am applying some measurement for neck width and neck depth. And yes, M size, I should know how much I can apply as a neck width and neck depth. Then the difference is known as increment. Already we discussed it. I should know about increment in all the areas. How much increment I have to apply for here for neck depth, neck width, shoulder, like that. Then, and either I can fix the pattern, S size pattern with the help of pattern I can draw. Otherwise, I can trace the S size pattern. Then I can apply for increment on one size and another circularly or radially. So hence this method is called as radial draft method. The advantage is it is an easy method. It can be completed within less time. But 3D pattern grading can be easily done by this method. And two grading systems are there. One is 2-dimensional grading, another one is 3-dimensional grading. Normally we are following 2-dimensional grading only. But particularly for waist suppression, breast suppression, like that, some type of styles we have to apply 3D grading also, because the suppression, the amount may vary, and dot position also vary. So for that, we have to apply 3D pattern grading, and 3D pattern grading can be easily done by this method. And disadvantage is lot of perfection care should be required for this method. Care should be required. Here, why I'm telling a lot of perfection means. So normally somebody may use to draw. I just prepare only S size. Next time drawing the M size curve means it should be proportionately matched with the S size armhole curve. Suppose if I draw SI sum call with proportion, some other proportion I'm draw in M size and L size curve means definitely fitting problem will come. So for that, this method requires lot of care and perfection. Okay. And edge changes grading method, proportional grading method also. These are the variation of draft grading method. See, edge changes means here they will calculate the grading horizontally and vertically. And here they are applying. So here we are applying what measurement? We are applying, see, length measurement. We are applying length or neck depth measurement. We are applying here. And we are applying neck width measurement. And here applying shoulder measurement and length measurement. Like that we are applying. First we have one direction horizontal, then vertical. So like this somebody may doing, and that's called as edge changes grading. And somebody do proportional grading. Proportional grading in the sense, instead of applying horizontally and vertically, in slanting order we are just directly applying. So how much is going? This point is moving this direction means how much this point move from this to this, how much increment we can apply from to here to here, here to here. So this method is called as proportional grading. Okay. So in this draft grade method, we just fix the pattern. We just circularly just drawing with the help of the base pattern. In the basic, we can fix the pattern without permanent. We can simply fix the pattern. We can do otherwise. We can trace the pattern. We are doing. But in track shift method, a little bit difference. Somebody will say for 2D drafting, this is accurate method. As per my knowledge, the track shift method is the best method for 2D drafting, 2D pattern grading. Here, the pattern is in fixed position. The grading is done by moving or shifting the base pattern on the lines or tracks which are already drawn on the paper to be cut. Here, first we have to calculate the increments. We should know where we have to apply the grading. That's very important. Normally, the grading should be normally applied in all the peripherals, all the points. And that known as graded points. Somebody may say that it's a cardinal points. So each and every point, how much increment we have to apply, that should know. Then after that, and we have to draw the axis on the pattern, and we have to keep one fresh paper where we are going to cut the M size or L size pattern. On the basis, again we have to draw some tracks or lines. Then we have to place the pattern, and we are just on the tracks, on the drawn tracks, we are just move or shift the pattern according to the increment. So this method is called as track shift method. The pattern is in radial draft method, the pattern can be traced or pattern is fixed. This pattern is not movable. But in track shift method, the pattern can be movable. The pattern should be moved on the tracks or lines. The pattern is shifted on the tracks or lines. So hence it is called as track shift method. So like that, I one by one. Suppose for track shift method, I have to first prepare a M size pattern, S to M, then M to L, and N to L. So like that I can prepare. Okay. So see this example here. See, this is the paper I'm going to. This is my pattern. This is my S size pattern. This paper I'm going to cut M size pattern. First, what I have to do, in my pattern, I have to draw axis. Normally, here, normally chest line we can take. This is for X axis, this is for Y axis, like that. First, I have to draw the axis on my pattern and axis on my paper also. I have to draw X axis and Y axis. And this is the origin point, O. And here I have to draw tracks. So, and I have to place the pattern and move the pattern on the tracks according to our increment. Then it is called as, this method is called as track shift method. Okay. So here it is accurate method for 2D grading. It's suitable for all garments, but disadvantage is it's very, very complicated method. It consumes more time. 3D grading is difficult a little bit. particularly for waist suppression, bust suppression is very difficult, but we can achieve, but a little bit difficult. Okay. See, so we are going to see one example for pattern grading using track sheet method. The pattern grading of a basic front by using track sheet method can be done through the following steps. Okay. So see, now we are having one measurement chart. Already we seen the measurement chart, simple measurement chart only. Length, chest, waist, shoulder, neck, small, medium, large, extra large sizes are there. And normally see, I prepared S size. In what I am preparing? Actually, here I am just telling the basic concept only. So approximately I just apply the proportion, variable quantity. See, here 1/6 variable quantity, 1/6 neck variable quantity, here 1/6 neck. We are applying the chest measurement in 1/4 variation, or 1/4 only. Here 1/4 chest we are applying. Here 1/4 waist we are applying. Here full length we are applying. Here 4 centimeter common measurement. In that way we are drafting the pattern. In that way we are drafting the pattern. See, here I am applying full length means the variable quantity is 1. So 1 into size interval equal to the increment. You know very well, already I told, increment equal to size interval into variable quantity. Suppose here 1/4 just I have to apply. Here how we can calculate the increment? Here I should calculate the size interval. Size interval, see here the size interval is 4 centimeter. Variable quantity is 1 to 1/4. So 4 into 1/4 equal to 1. So 1 centimeter or 10 millimeter is the increment here. In that way I have to calculate each point. So normally see normally here also the increment is applied. Here also we are going to apply increment. Here all the pattern edges we are going to apply increment. Sometimes we apply the pattern increment here also. Again, I am reiterating that I am just telling the basic concept only. I am not go deep into 3D pattern making grading or that in-depth pattern making. So normally the basic simple example only I have taken. So normally see here I have to apply increment 1, 2, 3, 3. You have to give notations. This notation is also called as grading points or cardinal points. For each and every pattern, first you have to give the notation like this. You should know, then first you have to clearly know where we are going to apply, how much the next size, M size pattern vary with S size. That is very, very important. So for that only previously I told we need some pattern making knowledge. Okay. And number third step is I just calculated I just taken the measurement chart. I just know the I know the variable quantity. Then I just put cardinal points also. The next step, you have to draw the axis on the pattern. You prepared a S size pattern. Then we are going to prepare M size pattern. First you have to draw axis. So normally here the length means measurement you take as X and width waist measurement just like you take Y axis. You have to draw the axis on the pattern. Okay. The next step is you have to calculate the increment and prepare increment table. So increment and prepare increment table, each every point you have to know. So here I just say I'm just giving minus direction, plus direction, like that means you should know very well that suppose see here I'm doing means for neck depth, the point movement you should know. If I'm doing the neck size means here see take this point S size, then automatically for M size the neck depth will definitely increase. Here I am applying some increment. So this direction is plus S direction. Okay. So here for take this point. For this point, this should move for here this direction for shoulder measurement. For shoulder, because the shoulder measurement increase one size to another size. So here I have to apply increment here for shoulder measurement. At the same time, I have to apply here increment for side depth. Automatically each and every size, the side depth also will increase, you know. Here I am applying side depth increment. That we have to understand. Here I am applying 1/4 chest measurement. Here I am applying increment. The point will move this direction for waist measurement, waist increment, and this direction for length increment. So like that, we have to know the direction. For that only I am telling we should have a clear pattern making knowledge. So then only we can understand in which direction the point will move, whether it will move to S direction or a minus X, Y direction or minus Y. Then only we can prepare the increment table. Like that, the table has been prepared. So see, 0.1 STM 0.5 10, 0.2 minus 1 0.5 minus 1 minus 1. Like that, we are preparing the increment table. Then after that, what we are doing, we are drawing the track lines. We have to take a paper where we are going to cut the M size pattern. There you have to draw the axis first, X axis and Y axis. This is known as 0, 0 origin point, and you have to draw tracks line. Tracks line is, see, here I am drawing Y value plus 0.5. Here another value 0.1. I draw one track. Why I am telling, I am drawing this line parallel to X axis, but here the distance is towards the Y direction. For that only, this is the track line, this belongs to Y direction and this belongs to X direction. See, here I am moving means, see, I am keeping the pattern, this line means automatically the point is moving this to this point. So this is S direction. So for Y axis, I have to, Y increment, I have to draw the line like this. Okay. For X, I have to draw a line. This is plus X minus X. So 0.5, 1, 0.5, 1, minus 1. Okay. Already I told this is 0.5 centimeter or 5 millimeter, 1 centimeter or 10 millimeter, like that have to draw. Okay. Tracks I have already drawn here. Then what I have to do, I place the pattern. Here place the S size pattern on the paper by matching the origin point. First you have to match, because already you drawn axis on pattern as well as axis on paper also. Both origin points should be matched. Then you have to move each and every point. See, first I have to draw this point. I have to apply increment for this point. What is this point? This is point number 1. Point number 1, see the increment table, point number 1 increment table, X is plus 0.5, Y is 0. Okay. What I have to do? What I have to do? See, I am just moving the pattern, X is plus 0.5. So this, I have to move the pattern here, this direction. While moving this direction, my pattern X axis and fabric, that these two, pattern axis and paper axis, should match. At the same time, here, see, have to move the pattern in S direction, plus Y there 0.5. So this Y, this axis should match with the 0.5 axis here. See, already we draw in the 0.5 axis here. This axis and pattern, this axis should match. So that means this point is automatically moved from this direction to this direction. Okay. Then what I have to do, I have to draw only small part of this center front line and small part of neck curve. Okay. Then I have to apply the increment on 2. And before applying increment, again I have come to origin point. Then again I have to, for each and every point, before we are applying grading increments, we have to check whether the paper origin point and the paper origin point will be perfectly matched. That's very important. For next, what is the 0.2 increment? X minus Y direction, Y 0.5. Okay. So here what I'm doing, then I have to move the pattern like that in minus 5 and what is the increment? Just a minute. Minus 1.5. So minus 1 means X minus 1. So minus 1 X means here, this is the pattern axis will move to here. This here to here. Then plus 0.5 means the pattern, this axis X move to 0.5. Then I have to mark only the part of neck and part of shoulder. So like that I'm moving. Again I have to come to origin. Again I'm applying increments the 0.3. Further I'm moving. Then I am just marking the starting ending point of shoulder line, starting point of armhole line. Then again I come to origin point. Again 0.4 I am applying increment. For that I have to move. I have to mark the end of the armhole and stop at the side seam. Like that I just applying increments for all. Here see the pattern is moved on the tracks. Yeah, it's being shifted on the tracks. Hence it is called as track shift method. So finally what I did, see, I just in point number 1 I draw the increment, point number 2 increment I draw, point 3 increment, point 4 increment, point 5. Every point I just here see one part of the center front line, part of the starting of neck only I marked, at the ending of the neck and starting of shoulder line. Here ending of the shoulder line, starting of armhole line. Here ending of armhole line, starting of side seam. Here ending of side seam and the ending of the waistline. Here the starting of the waistline and just marked. So what after that, with the help of the pattern, I can finish. For joining this is a straight line. If the straight line means I can use straight scale. For center front line and waistline and shoulder, I can use scale. And the curved points can be done with the help of the pattern. So with the help of the SI's pattern, you can finish the curve. Okay. So like that, you are finishing the pattern like this. Okay. So like that, now we are converted. See, like this we are doing means individually we can do with the help of tracks. We are shifting the pattern. So finally, we are just doing like this. See the increment, see the increment. Here this point number 1, point number 2, point number 3, point number 4, point number 5, point number 6. By this, finally the pattern has been graded. So this method is called as track shift method. Okay. So for each and everything, we should know the pattern making procedures very well, and where the pattern will move, what direction, how much the pattern differentiate, and which from one size to another size. For that we have to calculate the increments, and what direction the pattern, whether it's S direction, minus direction, we should know very well. Okay. So the third one is computerized pattern making grading method. Computerized grading is the most recent development in grading technology. It is also the fastest method. Okay. So if I'm having, so previously we have seen 3 methods, cut and spread method, and radial draft grade method or radial draft method, and track shift method. These are manual methods. Okay. And for another one technique is computers grading method. For computers grading, what we have to do, we should have computer as well as one suitable software. Software means it is PDS software, pattern design software. Nowadays, a lot of software are available in the market. Simply, somebody may tell it's a pattern drafting system. Somebody may say that pattern design system. Normally, it's a package. It's having, normally it's available in pattern drafting, grading, and marker software all together we can purchase. The famous user-friendly software, according to Optitex, is a very, very user-friendly software. Then TUCA CAD is there. These are the 10 important notable software. Other way, apart from that, Aster is the Lectrot, Gerber, and different types of softwares are there. So for that we have to install. We have to install the software. So then first we have to prepare the pattern by using the software. Then with the help of the grading also, grading option, we can easily do grading, pattern grading. So computer grading is very expensive, and usually one large manufacturers can afford it. That means computer CAD I can grade here, no problem. So simply I can grade. But if I want to print out means in the real measurement, I need I am having small printer, it's not possible. I need a big plotter. If I'm having big plotter only, I can take printout. So it's a complicated one. Normally it's a for small scale industries as well as for homemade garments. So normally it is used for large manufacturers only. They are doing, and they need not take printout. With the help of computer and marker, if they are having computerized cutting machines, there is no paperwork is required. They can easily prepare a pattern, they can easily grade, and they can easily prepare marker, and with the help of machine they can easily cut. So the computer is grading using in indices only. In computers grading also, what we have to do the same concept only using here. For each and every concept, all the concept, we should know the cardinal points, the end points, nodal points where we have to apply the grading. First we should know. Then we have to apply increments. We know how to calculate increment as usual. The increments are being calculated, and we only manually calculate the increment, and we can apply one table will be given in the software that is known as grading table. And first we have to open the grading option, and we have to enter the sizes. How many sizes are we are going to do? We are going to grade. What is the base size, like that? And we have to use the pattern already we just designed in that software. And we simply click each and every cardinal point and apply the increment. There they are called as grading rules. In the software they are called grading rules. They are just applying each and every point, automatically that is graded. See, for example, first I am preparing one t-shirt front in a software. This is Optitext software I am using. So I just prepared a t-shirt, basic t-shirt, size M. Then I just calculate the increment, and I just enter the sizes also. M is my base size. I just entered, I need S size, L size, XL size, enter the sizes. And what I have to do, first I have to click the point number 1, and I have to enter the increment, X direction, Y direction increment. Then I have to click apply. After click apply, automatically this portion has been graded. Then I have to select point 2 and apply the increments. This point 2 is graded. Then I have to click the point 3 and apply the increments. Like that, I have to click each and every point, and I have to apply the increment. And finally, automatically, the grading, everything will be properly conducted by the software only. So simply what we have to do, we prepare the pattern, we have to enter the size, and we have to calculate the increments. Increment calculation is done, should be done by us only. So we should know how to calculate the increment. And after that, you just prepare the increment table, and you click each and every point and apply the increment, and finally get the size. So see here, I apply the increment, then here and apply the increment, and finally the entire I just applied increment in all the cardinal points. Finally, it has been graded. Okay, so this is called as computerized grading method. Okay, okay, my session is over, and I think you might have understand the concept a little bit, because and clearly I told first we should know clearly we should 100% sound in pattern making. That's very, very important. If we are very sound in pattern making only, we should know, because size interval and increment we can calculate easily. And for calculating increment also, what are the variable quantities that we should know, where we have to apply the cardinal points and grading points we can apply, and how we can just drop the curve, whether the point will move in X direction or minus X direction, Y direction or minus Y direction. This we should know clearly. Then only we can do the pattern grading easily. Okay, so I hope you understand a little bit. And let me check, any doubt is there? I can't see. I can't see, just a minute. I don't know how to check that one. Okay, I hope you understand a little bit. And already in previously also I told, if I understand at least 60% of this lecture, definitely I hope I presented my presentation will be a little bit useful to you, I hope. Okay, thank you.